to welcome once again this month DWAC members, alternates, and presenters. Good afternoon. And I am officially kicking off the May Disadvantaged Business and Workforce Advisory Council meeting and calling it to order. Again, please mute yourself if you are not speaking. If you're having technical issues, let us know in the chat and we'll try to help resolve them. And please close any other teleconference applications. This meeting is being recorded and streamed live by the Met Council. Meeting handouts and presentations are posted on the project website, swlrt.org. I believe Tyler or Elaine is taking the roll call through, so no need to do the roll call verbally. And with that, I'm going to kick it over to my co-chair.
Thanks, Ashante. Good afternoon, everybody. Good to see you all. The previous meeting minutes were included in the handouts for review. At this time, ask if there are any edits that anyone would like to be captured. You can speak on them now, or you are more than welcome to send an email regarding those edits to either myself or Ashante at any time. So are there any changes that folks would like to make to the minutes from our last meeting? Okay, hearing none. So next we will move into the Green Line Extension project update.
All right. Thank you, Tyler. I guess I'm waiting for the presentation. John, is that right? I don't see it on the screen. I still see people. Here we go. Nice. Thank you. Hey, Jason, thanks. All right, project office update. Again, here we're going to start as we have in the last several months, Shady Oak Station Plaza work. This plaza has actually been completed last week, but you can see some of the phases of the work ongoing over the last few weeks. It's a fairly large plaza. It's part of the entire complex. Down at the 17th Avenue extension, you can see that 17th Avenue extension from Excelsior is underway here, pouring concrete for sidewalks that run the length of that. And down, you can see some of the systems work going on. I think Brad can probably correct me, but there were 6 or 7 TPSS stations dropped in the month of April. Here's an example of 2 of them, one on the upper left, Shady Oak, and then under Excelsior Bridge. And then we have the track work on the Kenilworth Tunnel, some of the plinth work going on, and the concrete, of course, poured over those plinths eventually, and the track being attached, and that's the East Tunnel portal as you come out near Cedar Lake bridges. Next. And again, this is just a retaining wall out at 21st Street. Very busy area, a lot of work going on there. It's just a little bit north of 21st Street Station. Here's an example of one of, I think, 4 vertical circulators we have on the project. This is the Bassett Creek vertical circulator. And we have them at Lake Street as well, obviously down at the Southwest Station. And some of the track work near Royalton Station. You can see Royalton Station in the distance there in some of that first phase of that track being laid. And then, of course, nice overviews here of the LRT bridge at 5th and 7th as you connect to Target Field. And that's it. Any questions on construction? All right. Thank you very much.
All right, next we can move on to our consent. As Tyler mentioned, reports were sent out. We can move on to John and the DBE Achievement Report.
Hey everybody, so for the achievement on the project construction side of things, the civil contract is about 90% or 95% built out, and that's not too much large invoices left, but just really in the winding down process of things. I know that there are still a bunch of change orders still out there as well. And then systems contract is still working on the various stations, trying to install the various communications and power cables all across the various stations. So that's still going in. So I expect, more invoicing to come from them. But from here on out, it's gonna be winding down. I believe that we also have a Hopkins rail support facility coming on sometime this year. So that's something else that would be added on to this once that gets awarded. But aside from that, this is the DBE participation that we have as of March 31st. And then, yeah, if there are also handouts with the more detailed breakdown of the DBE progress reports for each of the contracts here. And they are in the handouts or also available on the website if you want to take a look at them. If there's any questions, I can answer them. Otherwise, I will hand it back to the co-chairs.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Just a quick question. So these contract amounts, I take it they don't include change orders, or do they include change orders? These are original contract amounts?
No, this is not. The contract amount that's listed there is the revised contract amount. So they update them each pay app. So this is as of March 31st. So that's the contracted amount. And then if there are negotiated amounts that are still kind of in negotiations, then those change orders are not going to be included.
Until they are approved and become part of the contract.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And I just wanted to say I was remiss. I did not ask if there were any questions on the reports that were sent out earlier in the week to committee members, either on payments, etc. Are there any questions or questions for John? Any other questions for John? All right. And we could move, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna kind of if we're ready to move to the workforce achievements. I can touch on it real quick. Last meeting, we had talked about that there were some kind of pending changes regarding this report. We are still in discussion. The Minnesota Department of Human Rights and Met Council are still in discussion about restructuring the production of those reports. So if you have any questions regarding that report or data updates, please reach out to me and I can provide you with the information that you're looking for. But right now we are still trying to work through some restructuring in terms of the production of that report. We hope to have that very shortly. So with that, next up, is Krista? I did not see her.
I'm on.
You're here. Okay. I figured. So yeah, at this point, Krista, I'll turn it over to you to provide updates on the civil.
I'm sorry, it's really hard to hear you guys. What was that question, please?
Nothing, just that at this point in our meeting, I'm turning it over to you to provide your update.
Awesome. So you guys, and sorry, I don't have the screen available either. My WebEx is not working on my computer. So I'm on via the phone. So anyways, regarding our workforce update, we only have partial for the onboarding this last month. I will let you guys know our onboarding, even the bringing back of workforce for both the LMJV, Lunda, CF McCrossin, and our subcontractors is a bit delayed. I know we have beautiful weather, but that doesn't constitute when we bring people back. So as you can see for the onboarding, the in and out report, those numbers are low in regards to that. And actual hiring of new people, if any, is about a month out. We have had an increase though for our month-to-month participation. For April, we are 25% POCI, which is approximately a 2% increase from last month, and 5% female participation. Project to date remains across the board pretty much the same, 23.5 POCI and 8% female participation.
Krista, I think.
Are there any questions regarding numbers?
Krista, I'm thinking, unless we can move to the next slide, I think the presentation is starting with the DB. There we go. Okay.
Very sorry about that, you guys. Again, without seeing, I thought we had asked about workforce. So DBE participation is continuing forward. Great numbers, great. And I do need to reschedule with Gilbert. We are going to be meeting regarding the payments and everything. So sorry about that, you guys. Any questions about the numbers?
Okay, and I'm gonna try and help you out a little bit, Krista. This slide is what Krista was referring to in terms of the callbacks and the few numbers in terms of callbacks. Even though the weather has been nice, workforce returning to the project has been slow. Next slide.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, you guys. And we are working, our team, the LMJVs is meeting like weekly regarding, you know, our onboarding of the workforce, ours and our subcontractors.
Well, now you're on the right slide now, and I'm just going to describe it. Yep. Gotcha.
Yep, and I'm very sorry that I'm not on visual.
So right now, Krista,
Okay.
we have a very great picture from the day in the life at Junior Achievement, Humboldt High School. You want to talk about that?
Because it's, sure, thank you. So you guys, and this will include Mike, you know, with the ATJV too. 2 weeks ago, you guys, we had the absolute honor of putting on the first of its kind event with Junior Achievement, a hands-on day, you know, day in the life of what it's like to be a person in construction, not just in the field, but also in the office. We traveled to the Junior Achievement office, and we presented to 30 high school students that are in the ROTC program at Humboldt High School. We did not have one available for the timeline along the light rail project, but Humboldt was very open to this. We did a day in the life, how people got to where they are today. We had safety, we had project engineers, project managers, and field people tell their life story of there's, you know, how they transitioned to where they are on the project. And then after their lunch break, we did a great hands-on opportunity that I can't wait to do the next one. And that would be the main thing. We did safety with tie-offs and stuff like that. We had remote control cranes, but the best part of it is we did a STEM project. We actually we broke up the kids into teams, and each table had a piece of graph paper, a pencil, a bag of marshmallows, spaghetti noodles, straws, and 4 Band-Aids. And they were given the 45 minutes to build a bridge with the intent that at the end, whoever has the best structure to withhold weight won the challenge. To see these kids, and actually, and Mike can speak up too, to have everybody so actively engaged, it was one of the best. So I look forward to getting you guys involved with future ones, with projects with high schools along the light rail for this. So those are those 2 slides of pictures. You can see the fun and the activities taking place. Any questions about that specific event? If not, we can go to the next, which would just be a quick recap also regarding the Building Strong Communities graduation, which was the exact following day from the fund. There were about 100 graduates, biggest class to date, out of 4 years. And yep, the LMJV and APJV were an active part of the graduation celebration. We were able to help. Oh, sorry.
Here we go. Thanks. Go ahead. Sorry, Krista.
No, I really appreciate your help with this. The team was able to assist with the graduation, being that there were about 400 people in attendance total that day, ranging from the graduates with their families and guests, union representatives, contractors, CBOs, government entities. It was quite the celebration. And to see it grow from day one of this project, when it was still LRT work, to what it is today, it only shows what can happen when everybody works together as a team. Is the best thing why I kept it on there. I did not do pictures of it because I had over 200. So to pick the couple best ones was kind of tough to do. But I really appreciate everybody supporting it. It was great having Deed there, Mindali, the union. There was some, Mindat was there. It was truly a team effort. So it's exciting to see what's going to be happening next with that. So if you could go to the next slide, which is my last one, which is what's coming up. One of them, as you can see, was the MinCon crew, the Minnesota Construction Crew hiring fair that was held this Tuesday morning. It was our 10th annual. It was an event that we were very happy to be an active part of once again, because it was created 10 years ago and now we're a part of it again. There were over 300 individuals from our communities within the Twin Cities that came to this hiring fair, the Hiring Career Expo. There were over 30 contractors and union representations at the table. And it was, overall, it was a 3-hour event. So within 3 hours to have that many people come through interested in a pathway, it only shows the continued work together and the success we can have when we do it together. The other piece I will want to say, and you had see it here, the 2024 Rocking the Rail conversations, the unions wanted again, those that were able to attend the one we hosted last. There is a change being made. We are hoping to have something this fall. So watch for more information is all I can say right now. That is what I have for you guys today. Are there any questions?
Not a question per se, maybe a comment, Krista. Dan did mention that there were 105 graduates. And then through my conversations that I had with Aaron Koski here at the council, I do understand that 70% are women and people of color, which I think those two things are important to mention in terms of this graduation. And then also part of our conversations, we're going to begin conversations of how we can leverage building strong communities and seeing some of those individuals employed here at the council both on council projects, not just on Metro Transit projects, but also projects and works that are done by our Environmental Services Division and others. So we're going to begin those conversations to see how we can promote that and get and benefit, the council can benefit from these graduates.
Ashante, I absolutely love hearing that, and I would love to be a part of helping you with that.
Thank you.
Yes, so thank you very, very much. The council support is so appreciated.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys.
This is Chris, I have a question, and maybe this is for Ashanti too, because I know he touched on it. But I know you said that the weather does not depend on when the workforce ramps back up. What are the factors, and why is it later than anticipated?
A lot of it has to do with funding and scheduling. I'm not talking of just the light rail project, but there's been delays. A lot of the things that were spring startups, because of our great weather, believe it or not, you guys, last fall, those spring startup things were able to take place. And then there's also delays still regarding the water issues that we're having. Most of our work right now, you guys, is taking place still on the Kenilworth Tunnel. So if that helps. But industry-wide, I can also tell you those date delays are in industry-wide and trade-wide deal. So it isn't just the light rail project. Did that answer it? I hope.
Yeah, for the most part. Thanks, Krista.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions for Krista?
Can I just have a minute to?
Oh, go ahead, Dan.
I just want to say thanks to everybody. I mean, Met Council, as Ashanti mentioned, helped start that program. Krista mentioned, started out as LRT Build. Hennepin County put some money towards our initial effort on the LRT, the LRT Build program, which has become BSC. The city's now given us a grant, some grant to hire someone to be an apprenticeship navigator. So we're gonna have the first of its kind in the state of Minnesota navigator who's going to be housed in the workforce center in North Minneapolis to connect folks from the workforce programs on the deed side into apprenticeships and try and serve as a bridge between deed and Mindali with the apprenticeship stuff and our programs. So there's exciting work going on. The graduation was great. I forgot the one person I forgot to mention or forgot to thank at the graduation was Krista. But she was instrumental in trying to get that program together too, and a lot of other people. So I just want to say thanks to everybody.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan. Anyone else? Questions for Krista? Okay. If not, then we can move along to the systems contract, and I'll turn it over to Mike Tony.
Good afternoon, everybody. We can go to the next slide. All right. Junior achievement, we participated in that and started off slow with the kids to break the ice, but by the end there was a camaraderie. You go back one. Camaraderie and enjoy and fun, a lot of laughter. It was a great event, and it was a lot of fun to participate in that and to hear the stories of the young APMs, how they got into it, with ones with service careers. I think it meant the audience. And then building strong communities. You able to see Rick and Dan and everybody. It was a great event on Friday the 3rd. Mock interviews we participated in last week at Summit Academy, and then last week was National Safety Week, which is a big deal for Aldrich. and you know, we participated in a lot of activities with Aldridge and our subs on the job site every day. Had an hour safety discussion and an awareness. Focus this year was focusing on how to prevent and recognize emotional hazards, suicide, different types of other stuff, how to prevent it and how to be aware of it, or, you know, to train our project management team to be aware of those situations. So those were good events this week and this month. So we can go to the next slide, unless there's questions. Okay, next slide, please, Jason. Okay, and these are the hours for the workforce. We worked about 5,800 hours, and you know, we're holding steady at 20 and 10, 11% female participation overall, but that was for the month of March. About 5,800 hours. Bulk of the hours were, you know, 80% of the hours were electricians. So, but there was, you know, a surprise to us. We were able to dig in March and get the foundations for the housing stations and traction power stations that were able to be set in April. So Meyer and that group was out there as well. The next slide, please. And then working during the month of March, we had Gunner, Bald Eagle, Moltron, Elite Fiber Optics is pulling the fibers out on the tracks. MBE Trucking, you know, we got on-call. Sweet Pavement has been working for us. We're going to get a letter of intent for them for DB participation. Also, Safety Sign has been working for us, so we'll get letters of intent for both Safety Sign and on-call pavement that are coming to Met Council. So that's kind of what's going on with the DBE field work. And I think that's all we have for the system, unless there's any questions.
Questions for Mike? Otherwise, we're good to move on. Okay. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Sorry. Now's the time to open it up for any committee discussion. Any members have any announcements, comments? Open. The floor is open.
Just have one thing. Thank you all for hopping on this call. Next month, I believe we will be in person. And if you are able to attend, I don't know if we've discussed still having a virtual option as well for those that maybe cannot. I think we usually do have that option in case someone can't make it in person, but encourage you to come. It's been a while since we were all together in a room, so it'd be good to see folks in real life. But if you're able, please come, because at that June meeting, would like to have a discussion regarding this committee meeting and ongoing frequency for this meeting. So we thought that it'd be good to have in June when we're all together in person. So if you're able to make it, we would appreciate and value your opinion on a decision, because it's obviously going to affect the whole group. And yeah, looking forward to seeing folks.
I will just throw out a quick bit of news from AWC. Yesterday, the scholarship committee met and the board approved. We are giving out a record number of scholarships to females this year. 16 women are being awarded. We're spending $24,000. And that includes 5 apprentices and 6 trades girls and 5 bachelor degree students. So just wanted to let you know we continue to do our part here to work on those female numbers.
Thanks, Barb. Anyone else before I provide a little bit of council news? I just wanted to mention that I mentioned this before, that the first time in the council's history, we were provided some funding to do some support services for certified small businesses. And that kicked off here, excuse me, this quarter. And we've started to get our first quality control reports back on the first couple of training sessions. One was how to do business with the council. And then we had a bidding and estimating training where we had over 60 businesses register. And we're getting good feedback from the businesses. They have saying that this definitely was worth their while, and it's the type of training that is. I also wanted to mention that a lot of the training that was designed and programmed for this effort came out of conversations, discussions from this committee here, and hearing from you all, and getting that feedback and putting it into what we're doing and what we're providing to certified small businesses. So far we've had 4 businesses that participated in the one-on-one business consultation. I'm sure since I've got the first report, there's been others that have signed up and taken place, but the initial feedback, the businesses were surprised that of the services and the benefits that were offered by Project Solutions, who was the vendor that we contracted with to provide it. So again, positive feedback, and we're continuing on, and we'll be offering more courses this quarter and next quarter. Again, they are how to do business and with the council, bidding and estimating, construction safety, understanding the change order process, and then the one-on-one business consultations. And thank you to this committee for providing the feedback and understanding for us to help deliver services to certified small businesses. And we can move to the next slide. This is basically what Tyler was referencing. I don't know if you want to cover the slide or recover it, Tyler.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I think getting together and having a kind of step back conversation of, you know, where things are at, what is left to be kind of done. And with that remaining scope, is our frequency and cadence, you know, meeting the need? Is it beneficial? I know that these meetings are a commitment for folks. So is this a good use of that time for people? So keep things as is, you know, pulling back a little bit. Is that going to be most helpful? So I just want to have just kind of a holistic discussion about, given where things are at, what's kind of coming up in the coming year and the remainder of the project, are we in a good spot? Do we feel comfortable with the tempo that we're at, or is a change in order? So, and I wanted that. I think we felt like it was important to have that be a committee full discussion, and rather than just Ashanti and I making a decision on it.
And we can go to the next slide.
We can
I think
keep
we
going.
covered. Go ahead with someone.
I think we kind of covered this part of the announcement, so we can go to the next slide. All right, so this point in our meeting is where we open it for any public invitation, public comments. John, do we have anybody registered for public commentary?
Nope, we did not receive any requests.
Perfect, thank you. So we can move on. Thank you.
As Tyler mentioned, our next meeting is June 20th. It is in person at the Green Line Extension Project Office in St. Louis Park. We hope that all that are able can join. Again, we're going to have some important conversations on how we move forward with this meeting, and we do want your input because we will be making a decision in June in terms of what this looks like moving forward. So if you want to be heard on that and you want to provide your feedback, we want to hear from you. So please join us, and it'll be good to see everybody as well. With that, I don't know, this may be even a record, but we will adjourn this meeting. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. I see the weather is supposed to be wonderful. So have a good weekend, and we'll see you all in June.
Thank you. Have a good weekend. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.